So what I was telling you is that Stephen Lynch song, which, by the way, everybody should listen to the entire album Lion, whatever streaming service you had. So he starts it in concert by saying, we have this new song. It's called Let Me Inside. And everybody giggles. And he was like, oh, shit. I don't know where my purse is.
That's okay.
There it is. So everybody on the stage is like, why are they giggling? And he was like, because they think it's about vaginas. And that's how he says it, vaginas. So then he goes,
everybody loves a vagina.
Right. And then he writes on like a notepad and looks like he's changing the song. And anyway, they do the song Let Me Inside. And it's fucking fantastic because he's like, it's not about vagina. It's about vaginas.
It's always about vaginas. Everybody loves a good vagina.
Welcome to Drunk Bitches Be Like. I'm Brandi.
I'm Mindy.
And this is all about two women, a few beers, some tipsy stories, and some drunk ideas.
Welcome. Oh my God, it's been forever.
It has. Okay, before we're
going to have to record through like Thanksgiving and Christmas and just go into this is going to be our break. This was our break.
So we have done a lot of things, but first and foremost, we have to recap is that normally it's me going on trips that turn out disastrous.
Fucking beer in my tits.
Mindy can't keep beer in her mouth. But you look fabulous,
Thanks.
by the way. Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, wait. Oh, we have to take a selfie because we started out the night looking like not. That's the wrong way.
No, don't take a picture of my ceiling.
Hi. Yeah, we're drunk as fuck.
Okay.
I'm not drunk as fuck.
Well, no.
I'm tipsy.
I mean, I clearly got a nice little nap in because I don't remember most of the drive home. But before we get to that.
I feel like we drank the same amount of wine.
Yeah.
And one of us got less drunk than the other one.
Who,
You're
me?
dehydrated.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah, you're dehydrated.
Well, always.
Anyway.
But first we have to, Mindy took a trip. Do you want to talk about your trip?
I took a trip. So a thing that we haven't been able to talk about because I have not figured out whether my in-laws know that this show exists or not. They know it exists.
Oh, okay.
They don't know what the name of it is. I haven't.
So like my mom, she knows it exists, but I feel like has no interest in knowing or hearing.
They've asked.
Oh,
I just ignore.
That's good. Yeah, good call.
My mother-in-law bought me a hat like 3 years ago that was like something like I'm fucking drunk, bitch. Or I don't know.
Love it.
I was like, yay. So there are so many reasons why that is hysterical that I can't go into because it's family things. But anyway, so my mother-in-law turned 70 in October, like the 24th, October 24th. I should know that. She's not going to check. So she turned 70. So for the past 5 months, my father-in-law has been planning a vacation / surprise party in Mexico. So quick recap. My in-laws had a meeting with my husband sometime in 2006, 2005, 2006 or whatever.
That was a long time ago.
So keeping in mind, I bought a house in 2008.
Yeah.
I was born in 1972. Somebody do the math. My husband was born in 1984 and bought a house in 2006. So he was an adult a long time before me. He's still the more adult person because
it's only if we're causing adults equals buying houses, which
whatever. I would be putting beer on a credit card if I could right now.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I put wine on a credit card. Does that count?
know, but I can't do that.
I own a house. I don't know if that still makes me an adult.
Because my severance ended. He's like, here's cash. And I'm like, that's 3 beers.
Yeah.
I now measure everything in beers. So anyway.
That's fair.
My father-in-law has been planning this and I didn't want to opt out, but also I was like, I can't see spending the money on boarding. Oh, it's been a long time since we've talked. I can't see spending the money on 4 dogs in case you're counting.
Yeah.
I have 3 dogs.
But she has a 4th that she's
we'll
taking care of.
revisit that. So I can't see spending boarding money because our boarder, so I could have gotten somebody to take this 4th dog, but our boarding facility would have cost $1,350.
Ooh.
So I asked the people at this rescue that I work with, like, hey, I might have a recommendation. So they recommend this place that's like half an hour away, but it's less than one half and
Wow.
way more attention. Less than one
Wow.
half of the cost, way more attention. So we took the dogs down there. They had daycare. They were like, please leave them here all day. Normally it's like a half day, but your one dog needs a lot of attention. And I'm like, you're not telling me anything. So we have that. My father-in-law was like, I will pay for daycare.
Nice.
And we already had passports. We went and got passports as soon as they brought this up, but I wasn't worried about doing it. So my husband and I flew to Arizona. And then my sister-in-law and brother-in-law flew in the next day. And then we all drove to Mexico.
Why didn't you just fly to Mexico?
It's very expensive.
Oh, okay.
So we went to Rocky Point, otherwise known as Puerto Penasca.
I've been there
Oh, have you really?
for a wedding.
The resorts are nice. The rest of it's a shithole.
Oh yeah, no, it's
and I
total.
don't mean that in like I'm not saying that in a racist way. I'm literally saying it like it's third world.
Yeah.
So Mexico apparently has the fastest growing middle class in North America.
Yeah.
However, it has not reached the border. So Puerto Penasca is an hour from the border of Arizona, 4 hours from Phoenix.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law spent 33 years in the army, and as we're driving through Mexico, and I believe it was his first time driving through Mexico, he was like, this looks exactly like Bosnia, Somalia, Afghanistan,
Oh, God.
Kuwait. It's sad how poor the area is considering the resorts.
Yeah.
So we stayed at Sonora Sky, and we had a great experience there with the
Good.
family.
Yeah.
And his mother was like super surprised, like crying. So they were already there with their friend. And then we knocked on the door, and my sister-in-law was like, I have towels. And so my father-in-law answers the door because my mother-in-law just didn't come to the door. And so we all walked down this very long hallway, and we emerge into the kitchen/living room. And she's just staring at all of us like, I'm very confused as to what's happening right now.
Why are you here?
And then she just burst into tears. So we
Aw.
spent 5 days in Puerto Penasca and 2 days in Arizona, in Surprise, Arizona.
Nice.
And it was very nice. Like, it was a nice beach. It was a nice hotel. They live in a retirement community. So it's park homes, and
They don't live in Mexico though, right?
they
live
do
in Arizona.
not. Okay, sorry. I broke off on that story. So in 2005 or 2006, my in-laws told my husband we're moving to Mexico and we're selling the house. My husband still lived at home. His dad helped him buy a house because his dad was a realtor. So they found a house that met his needs, whatever. They moved to Mexico, and then not Puerto Penasca, but there's a place in Mexico where a bunch of expats live.
Yeah.
They moved there, and then my mother-in-law worked for CareSource, which is the like a Medicaid.
Yeah.
It's Medicaid in Ohio, and they were like, you cannot take data across the country lines, and I'm like, that's not how VPN works, but sure.
Yeah.
So she moved back. They moved back to Arizona, and I think eventually they'll move back to Mexico. It costs less to live in Mexico, but with the 2 days that we spent in Arizona, we hung out with them because my father-in-law was supposed to have ankle surgery on the Monday after we left, and they moved it to the Friday while we were there,
Okay.
which was fortunate. Like it worked out great. However, first day we leave the hotel, go to their over or 55 and older campground. It's not a campground. I don't know
No,
what to
they
call
have park model homes and stuff.
Right. So it's park models plus RVs.
Yeah.
And then they have like pools and like workshops and wood
Shuffleboard,
shops and
they've
shuffleboard.
got,
It's got
like,
they have
they've
all
got all
kinds
the
of shit
things.
like carpet
I love a
carpet
good
clubs,
55
card
and older
clubs.
community, man. They're just
They have so many activities.
all the things.
It's literally day camp for grown-ups.
My parents lived in one in Florida, and it was fantastic.
My brother-in-law and I are the same age. plus or minus 3 months. So he's 3 months older, whatever. I'm younger. Anyway, so
Not that you're holding on to that at all.
not. So we're walking around and they take us to the pool and there are a bunch of adults playing volleyball with a beach ball in the pool.
Yeah.
And there's music playing.
Yes.
And there's like a little cantina and a bar that's getting set up because it's the middle of the day. And music is playing. And my sister-in-law looks at me, who is 2 years older than my husband, and says, "Is this Madonna?" And I went, "Yeah, it's Holiday. Nope, it's Borderline." Huh. So we let that go. So we're all talking. The kids are with their parents talking. My brother-in-law and I are hanging out at the back. And he looks at me as we hear Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ooh. And we make eye contact and he goes, "Fuck." And I'm like, oh my God, we're 4 years away from being able to live here.
Uh-huh.
And then we could not get over the fact that all of the music playing for the rest of the time we were there in the area was 80s music because we're almost senior citizens.
Okay. First of all, I don't think you're almost senior citizens. Second of all, I cannot wait. Like,
We have AARP.
my significant other is 3 years older than me, and I cannot wait until he hits 55 because then I get accepted no matter what. Because if we're married, which we're getting married, so like as soon as we can move into one of those communities, I want to move in, man. They have organized
You'll
activities.
have to let go of your Legos. You know that.
I'll have to let go of the Legos.
You'll have to like sell. You can sell them.
I can
You've
sell
got
Legos.
money in
It's
Legos.
fine. I have. I
Oh,
don't,
that's the shelf you built.
yeah. I don't know. Oh, I built a shelf. Isn't that
Wait a
lovely?
minute. I'm gonna have
It
to take a
even
picture
kind
of
of
that.
matches.
Because we talked about the fact
Yeah.
that you had to like build a thing
I
to store
built
a thing,
to
and then you
store-
painted a thing
I
to
did
be a thing.
because I didn't paint it, and then he
Jesus
was like,
Christ,
"Are you going to
that's
paint
way
it?"
too
And I was
close
like,
up.
and I had to paint it, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I have Legos I build, and then I have Lego sets that I have in tubs that are investment Legos
Yep.
because they're retired sets that I bought.
You have a centerpiece that's a Lego.
I do. I have. a
How is your
centerpiece that's
wedding
Lego.
not filled with just centerpieces?
So
I'm not building Legos.
Okay,
I
no.
love you.
Nobody's gonna build Legos. So I have my mom likes to say, what does she say? I have what kind of taste do I have? I have like
Champagne tastes on a beer budget.
yes, that's it. So the wedding will look like champagne taste, even though it will not be champagne budget. But so Legos are my thing and I love them, but there will probably be no Legos at the wedding just because my actual taste when it comes to decorating and things tends to be very champagne taste.
Is your part-time employer going to donate wine? That's really the only thing we care about.
Well, regardless, I will probably be able to buy wine
At cost.
So yeah.
I cannot wait to have like a suite with you and just bubbles.
Yes,
Oh,
all
we
the
can't get
bubbles.
shit-faced before the wedding, but we can be bubbly.
That's what the bachelor's party for.
That's like a year.
I know. All the
of
bubbles.
time.
All the bubbles.
But we are still drinking
me.
while you're getting ready.
There will be lots of bubbles.
While somebody is spray painting your face.
That's
We're
true.
gonna be. I mean, I'll do your makeup.
There
but
is going to be spray paint. No, I have a
Good.
The girl who does my eyebrows every 6
Yeah?
weeks. I was chatting with her and she goes, "I do makeup," and I was like, "Fantastic, love it."
come
I'm in.
spray paint my face.
Yep. And she was like, "Yeah, I can do the spray paint," and I was like, "Awesome,
So
love that."
I will say this. So there used to be a line of foundation that Mac had that I loved. It was like called Longwear, and it literally like nothing could budget. I wear glasses, and then I tend to sweat, and so like under my nasal labial fold. I don't know. That sounds like I'm talking about my
under your
vagina.
nose.
Yeah. So these are like nasolabial folds.
Oh,
Your smile lines. So
Yeah.
like under your nose, the nose that goes to your lips. I used to like get makeup that would separate there.
oh no, my whole upper lip just gets sweaty when I sweat.
This whole thing, I'm
Just-
pointing to
yeah,
my nose
yeah.
area, would just the foundation would break up.
It's
so
like when a dog's like sniffing and his nose is all wet. Like that's what my face turns into.
So I loved this foundation. My friend's daughter was getting married, and she asked me at one point, she said, can you do my makeup? And I was like, yeah. So she came over for a trial and she had this photo, and I was like, the photo is great. And we tried it, and I did a good job recreating it. And I was like, this, no offense, looks horrible on you. can I just do what I would do? And she was like, yeah. And so we did it. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, you don't need that fucking heavy of an eye. You've got like a hood and all this. So anyway, so I went and did her makeup. She was like, I found somebody and she's going to do the makeup for the wedding party. And I'm like, she can do your makeup. And I'm not trying to discourage you from this because they don't make this foundation anymore. Yeah. So I was like, she can do your makeup. But if you go and get this shade, go get color matched at MAC.
Yeah.
Get the foundation. Trust me. And she was like, fine. So all of her bridesmaids got their faces airbrushed. We are an hour and a half into the wedding reception, drunk, dancing our asses off, already ate food. Her face is still in one piece.
Nice.
It was great. Her bridesmaids had no makeup on anymore. And I'm like, see? I told you to trust me because people are still taking pictures of your ass. Anyway.
So my plan is that I'm going to book somebody to do my makeup and my hair. And then I'm going to give my bridesmaids the option of I will pay for it if they want it to do their hair or the makeup. Or if they want to do it themselves, they're more than welcome to.
I will do my face. I cannot do my hair.
Yeah. So
otherwise it's just going to look like what you see right now.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thing. I'm kind of like, I know some people like to do their own stuff. So if you want to do your own thing, do your own thing. I really don't care because everybody doesn't have to have matching makeup or matching this
but I feel like you
whatever.
can trust me with my face.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. I'm like, I don't care. Some people don't like wearing makeup and that's fine. If you don't want to wear makeup, then just don't fucking wear makeup. I don't care. No, I don't. It doesn't matter. Like some people I have in my wedding party, like just don't naturally all the time. And that's fine. And they have lovely, wonderful, perfect skin. Kate, I'm
that's
talking
the thing.
to you.
I don't have good skin.
No. So like, I just like, if she doesn't want to wear makeup, then she doesn't need to wear makeup. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But like, I'll have somebody there to do both the things. And if people want them to do them, cool. If they don't, cool. Like you do your own thing and that's fine. I really don't care. I don't know. I just like, to me, that kind of thing is like my friends are my friends and I know what they look like. And if they want to look like they normally look like, then that's fine. I don't care.
That's good.
Yeah, whatever.
So are you guys going to do a first look? Or are you guys going to like just wait until you walk down the aisle?
We haven't talked about that yet, but I think I want to wait until I walk down the aisle.
I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah.
I want to see him cry.
Like, the first look thing, like, I know,
so
I feel like that's
he's
like.
going to cry.
Like, oh, no, he's going to cry.
He's going to bawl.
No, he's going to bawl. I already know that's going to happen. So
Patrick doesn't listen to this, but somebody should give Patrick a lot of tissues.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have pockets.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I have pockets for all of the
that'll
tissues.
be so cute when you hand him a hanky.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's one thing I do want to get. I want to get like a personalized hanky to have in my pocket because I have pockets.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that over and over again. I have pockets. It's fantastic.
Pockets, and she has a slit up to her vagina.
Which I still need to find like the perfect underwear, like boy shorts things to wear underneath that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will tell you what, you get a nude-ish boy short and then put your if you're going to wear like tights or hose, put that over top of them.
Oh no, I'm not wearing hose.
Oh, you can't because you have some open-toed shoes.
I have open-toed shoes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. These are the second pair of shoes. Okay. So the first pair of shoes came and they fit great and whatever. These are the reception shoes.
Oh, I like these.
Yeah. They're wedges.
It's like a 1/2-inch platform, 3-inch wedge.
Yeah. They're like more, and they've got Comfort Flex padding in them. And so they're like, they're comfy to wear. And they fit. See, I just didn't put the thing on yet.
There you go. Look at the thing about how celebrities can wear shoes like this all the time because you can actually put some kind of like, there's a thing you can put in the toe so your foot doesn't slide down into it.
Yes, I've seen those.
Yeah. Or get Botox in your feet and you can't feel it.
I know. I don't want to do that. That seems like entirely too much work. Way too much work.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was looking at all the shoes and things like that. And the first pair of shoes that I really loved. Not really.
Okay.
The first pair of shoes that I looked at, I loved. And they were like 4-inch stilettos.
Yeah.
There's no mint. And it was $285.
Yeah.
For the pair of shoes. Thankfully, when they came in, they did not. I couldn't. So I sent them back. So then I bought.
Can I play? Oh, no, I shouldn't do this. But if you want, I can bling out the heel.
Well, see,
Just the
that's
stiletto part.
I kind of
No,
like
just the
plain.
stiletto part.
Oh, well, then maybe. So I went on and I finally, like, after buying like 5 different pairs of shoes, trying them on, sending them back or whatever. So Aldo is a store that sells shoes that apparently, I didn't know this, but not all people that know Aldo brand.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mentioned to a couple of people, and they're like, what's Aldo? And I'm like, oh, it's a brand of shoes. It's a shoe store.
Yeah.
And I bought shoes there before for special occasions that I really loved. And so I went online and I was like, I wonder what they got, because they're in an outlet like, I don't know, half hour away from us. And so I went online and I found some they're simple.
Your fiance is drunk.
Yeah, he is, and
Sorry.
he's texting. I got a text earlier from him.
No, I just got a group text and I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, he's on it right now.
I love you, Justin.
But I found shoes online that they were pretty simple, but they were like just classic and things I wanted to go. My dress is very plain in the way that it doesn't have a lot of like embellishments and things like that.
Right, it's
and
very
so,
sophisticated.
Yeah, but it's sophisticated. And that was the one thing I said to the girl when I was trying them on. And the girl actually kind of got shocked when I said this, because when I tried it on and I looked happy in it and everything, she was like, this is the happiest you've looked in any dress you tried on. And I said, that's because every dress I've tried on to this point, I felt like a cupcake and I felt like I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the first dress that I've tried on that made me feel pretty and my age. And she was like, what's your age? And I told her I was 40. And she was like, you're not. And I was like, all right, you're being kind and that's fine. And I love you for that. But also, I'm 40 and I want to look like a sophisticated adult in my dress. And so I liked that dress because it was still pretty and it was still a wedding dress, but it was also, it made me feel my age and the level that I wanted to be at. So when I found the shoes, I was super excited because also they were like these ones has the like flex stuff in the bottom.
Right.
And they're like basically sold as they've got this extra layer of cushion and stuff in them so they're comfortable, but they're also like 4-inch stilettos that has like a 1-inch platform underneath of them.
Right, because you're a foot and a half or something like that shorter than your fiance. You're 5'5", he's 6'2".
I'm 5'6", he's 6'1".
Okay.
So, but we've got like a height difference, so I've got some play with my shoes. So I was like super awesome. And also they were on final clearance, which means I couldn't send them back if they didn't fit. But also I was like, I bought shoes from this place before that I've loved and whatever. And I bought the size that I think I needed. And they were only like $45, which for 4-inch stilettos is like in wedding shoes is unheard of.
Right.
From my experience of trying to find shoes that I wanted. And then while I was on the same site, I found the wedges, because those ones I was like, okay, so the stilettos are good, but I'm not going to be able to wear them all night. But I still want to have a heel. And so then I got still like wedges that are still like 3 inches and, you know, and then I also found a pair of tennis shoes that was only $20 on final clearance that are like white tennis shoes that match all the other shoes, but the threads on the sides where like the normal threads are, instead of threads, it's just a line of rhinestones, and they're super simple but super cute and I love them. So I haven't got the tennis shoes in yet, but the stilettos and the wedges both fit. And I'm like, I got 3 pairs of shoes for like a third of the price of the first pair of shoes that I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I feel like I did well there.
I think the most expensive part, I mean, my wedding dress, but my wedding dress was a prom dress. It was $500 And then I bought another one because I was like, what if I don't like this one that much? And then I got that one. I was like, fuck it, send it back the same day, because I went to put it on. I'm like, nope, I cannot wear this. It is stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
And it can't be, because of how it was built, it could not be altered.
Yeah.
And my husband and I have a 2-inch height difference.
Yeah.
Not a lot to play with. The most expensive part of my wedding outfit were the Converse that I had to go track down because they don't make them anymore.
Which were super cute, by the way.
They were exact color. My wedding shoes just kind of fell into my hands. They were the right color.
Yep.
I got the last pair of 10s that existed in the world or whatever on the DSW site.
Yeah.
And then I had to track down these Converse from a place called Sport Basement. They were new, so they weren't used, but they cost like twice the amount of Converse shoes. And I'm like, I already don't want to spend $40 on Converse, and I get it. Like they're between 40 and 60, I think. But like, yeah, I had to pay like 120 for these Converse because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So fuck yeah, do what you got to do.
Well, I'll be honest. So I've always had a vague obsession with shoes.
Oh no, I like totally have shoe porn issues.
Oh no, totally. So when I moved from Ohio to Vegas the first time, I will say I took a lot of pairs of shoes with me. And when I moved back from Vegas to Ohio, I literally couldn't take anything that wouldn't fit in my car with me. And when I got back to Ohio and got all my shoes in my closet that I brought back with me, I had 110 pairs of shoes.
Oh shit. No, you also sent me a picture. Like I cleaned out my office and sent me a picture of the closet that you can't fit clothes in because there are shoes. And you were like, I cleaned out my closet. I'm like, you have 95 shoes upstairs.
And I got rid of a lot of pairs of shoes.
You have 95 pairs of shoes upstairs.
So I have a small shoe obsession. So it was really funny.
Putting that picture online. You have a shoe problem.
One of my bridesmaids, it was really funny because as soon as I texted her and was like, hey, I got my wedding dress. Like I texted all of my bridesmaids because I have a problem and I asked all of them in obscene ways before I actually should have, because now there's all the promposal things and the things that you're supposed to do to ask people, and I didn't do any of that.
That shit's too much.
I called everybody and got drunk and was like, be my bridesmaid. When I sent my bridesmaids a picture of my dress when I picked it out and everything, because my mom and my sister were with me, and my sister's my maid of honor. But I sent all the rest of the bridesmaids a picture of the dress and said, I found my dress. Da, da, da. My one bridesmaid that I lived in Vegas with immediately texted back and she said, yeah, but do you have your shoes? And I was like, they're already on order and on the way. Because it was the first pair of shoes that I wanted. And like, I've had a picture of them in my phone for like 5 years and I ordered them, but they weren't being made anymore. So I had to find them on like Etsy or something and eBay or whatever. And so like I had ordered them and then they came in and they were awful. But so like she knew immediately. She was like, okay, but the shoes, do you have the shoes yet? And I was like, no, they're on their way, but I do have the shoes in mind.
Right. Oh my God.
The shoes are as important as the dress.
This is true. This is absolutely true because they have to be comfortable. I wish I would have went with closed toe because I didn't want to fucking do my toenails. I had to go because I've had ingrown toenails on my two big toes. So they had to put like fake nails on both of my toes and they hurt because they're not made for your toes. They're made for fingernails. So they squeeze when they put them on. And plus they are once you put the glue on them, they're thicker than your toenail. Right. So anything you wear that's closed toe, it hurts. Uncomfortable as shit.
Because it squeezes and they're awful.
So I wish I hadn't have done that. Yeah. But whatever. You know what? You're going to enjoy it and it's not going to matter. It's like childbirth. You won't remember it.
Well, that's my thing. I'm like, I've got 3 pairs of shoes. So if I wear the stilettos only for like walking down the aisle and then I'm like, all right, fuck these, I'm done. I've got the wedges as a backup for heels. And then if the wedges, all right, fine. I got tennis shoes. I can wear those during the session.
I feel like you have a solid set of bridesmaids and a matron of honor that we will just like be running around like, how are your feet? How are you doing?
How are you doing?
You know what my goal is in life is to make sure that your glass is full because nobody brought me a fucking beer my entire reception. I had one beer that I carried around all night long. And then at the end of the night, 3 people showed up with my beer, keeping in mind my beer is 7%. And then we had an hour to drink them. So I was shit-faced by the time I got back to our room.
Okay,
shit-faced.
So that's my biggest fear is that I'm going to get shit-faced because I'm probably going to drink like white wine or champagne and I'm like I can down that like nobody's business. So that's my thing though.
We should bring you charcoal tablets.
I'm going to need like so like you keep making sure I have champagne and then I'll have another bridesmaid responsible for making sure I drink water.
Right.
So like that way you'll balance each other out and I'll constantly have water in my hand and then like champagne.
Electrolytes into your water.
You need all the things. Just drink all the things.
No, I cannot wait. Where's your venue at? Columbus?
No, it's in Miamisburg. Canopy Creek. It's a little farm. They have a horse barn, which I feel a little bad.
So I mean, I might as well just Uber from my house.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's on Benner. It's
Okay.
like, right.
Well, because I put people up in hotels when we had our wedding.
Yeah.
But there's no hotel close to the bar.
No.
So I'm like, you're going to stay here, but you still have to drive 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I still need to get that because I tried to reach out, but apparently I'm too soon and my planning process is just going too fast for people. Because hotels are not doing these things yet. They don't have pricing, whatever.
Oh, for blocks and shit like that.
Because I started reaching out, but what I would love to do is like the closest place that has like multiple hotels like is Austin Landing.
Right.
And so some hotels
We stayed at True.
will provide transportation to and from the hotel.
Really?
Yes. So what I would like to do is, especially for people out of town and stuff, is have like a transportation system that's like, okay, they'll leave the hotel at this time, they'll come back and they'll pick people
I'll
up.
just
at this
take an
time, and-
ambulance. It'll be
yeah. So, So I'm trying to have transportation to and from that, like not everybody has to Uber and things like that, but like they'll have options.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you are kind of far out.
Yeah. So
Kind of fucking project
I have to
managing
wait.
shit.
I know. I'm too ahead of things on some stuff.
So I went to Mexico
Yeah.
and then Arizona, and then I don't know what the fuck happened after that.
You came home and
I came
then
home.
we were supposed to record, but we didn't. Why didn't we? What did we do?
Because I was tired.
Yeah, but what did we do that day? We did something. Oh, we were darting. Oh,
We were
me
darting.
and Mindy. Mindy has made the Dayton All-Stars dart team this year.
Woo!
I'm an alternate.
Yeah.
So we have dart practice now all the time with the ladies, Dayton ladies All-Star team.
Nobody listens to us. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine.
We are on a different political spectrum
Yeah.
than 75% of them.
That's true.
They don't fucking care what we have to say.
But yeah, so we went to dart and we were gonna record after dart practice, and then dart practice kept going, and then I totally threw out my arm.
We started at 2 p.m. At 8 p.m. I was like, I am gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah, I after 4 hours I was done because like we did it tournament style and we like split up into teams, and so like my team got knocked out at some point. So then I went to go practice by myself at a board, and we had this fun game where you do like double outs and stuff, which is really good.
Yeah,
But,
it was
like,
great practice.
When you do it 4 times in a row by yourself and you're just constantly throwing at the board, like I got to the point where I couldn't pick up my arm, and I was like, oh,
we
no.
tried it on Wednesday, and I one time got to the 8s.
Oh no, I only got to the 8s one time. I did it 4 times. I got to the 5s. I got twice to the 7s, and then I got to the 8s on the 4th one.
So quick rundown. It's called 27. You start with 27 points. You throw at double one. You throw all 3 darts at double one. It does not matter how many times you hit the double one. If you hit at least 1 dart out of 3 or 3 darts out of 3, you add 2 points to 27.
Oh no, you get to add points for every dart you hit it.
Oh, no, that's not what I was told.
Oh, that's what Lou told me. If you hit it multiple times, you get to
Damn.
add the double. Yeah. Oh,
We are redoing this
you're
shit.
cheating yourself. But if you don't hit it at all, you only subtract 1 double.
Okay. So that's not how we were doing it. But let's say, for instance, I throw 3 darts at the double one time. I now have 29 points. I throw 3 darts at a double 2. I hit none of them. I now have minus 4 points. So we did that forever. And I was like, I suck at doubles.
Oh,
my
trust me.
entire usefulness on these teams is that I can get points down because I can hit 20s.
Yeah. But getting out is the hard part.
Out is not my shit.
So that's the thing. So
Which is funny because I got out like a motherfucker when I tried out.
you were still playing in the tournament, which is why I kept asking all the questions when I was playing the 27, because I was like, okay, so because I was thinking if I missed all 3 darts, I had to subtract like 3 times that, right?
Right.
He was like, no, you only subtract once. And I'm like, all right, but what if I hit 2 in there? And he was like, oh no, you add both of those then. So it's like you get to add all the points that you hit, but if you don't hit any, you only subtract 1 double.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I might have been able to get higher than 8 then.
Yeah.
One of our teammates was like, I'm starting at 100, but she was still using Lou's rules. She was like, I'm still negative because I don't care. Kathy was like, when you get to 0, you stop. And I was like, I'm not fucking stopping. I might be able to catch up. This is how people get sucked into gambling.
Yep.
I might be able to make it happen. Oh my God. So
Yeah. So we've
we're
been
doing
doing
that. We still are doing our Monday night team, which we had to come to an ego decision.
Yeah.
An ego economical decision.
That's right. It costs a lot of money for us to get our ass kicked.
So it's a money league, and we didn't technically know what that meant. We just knew we were playing Masters.
Yeah. Which I feel like going in, we knew we were going to get our butts kicked.
We've gotten better.
We've gotten better, and honestly, that's
Just the
good. But at the point, but the amount of money that we spend to get our asses kicked
It's
seems
demoralizing
Yeah,
as
it
fuck.
really is.
So we still have to pay.
Yeah.
Like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But my husband and a guy on our dart team were like, we want to play Monday steel tip doubles. And I was like, we also want to play Monday steel. So the ego thing comes in.
We got to talk about that too, because I
Okay.
don't know if I want to.
Okay. Well, I'll find somebody.
But yeah.
Doesn't matter. So,
But yeah, we might just not do the soft tip thing.
no, so that's where the ego thing came in, because I don't want them to think that we're quitting because we lost.
No, we're not. We're quitting because it costs $34 every Monday.
Right. So,
Which, I
not
mean,
per person, but in
no,
half.
but still,
And-
but then you also spend money
league
on
fees,
beer.
too. That's our league fees,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like we pay $34 and then plus.
No. So $34.50 is what we pay every week in league fees and to play the board. But then also you're at the bar and like you don't go in there and just like play darts. Like you're at a bar, so like you need to buy beer and stuff. So like I feel like it ends up being that we both spend like $40 every Monday.
Right, which is unreal.
Yeah.
So, I was like, well, I want to play Mondays too, mainly because I want to play against my husband.
Yeah.
And he does not want me to do that. But whatever, I don't care. I'm very competitive about shit that I'm good at. We
that's fair.
talked about this from episode 1. So it hasn't changed. It's actually gotten worse.
Yeah.
If he throws if we're diddling and he throws at the green, I'll hit the red just to piss him off. I don't fucking care. I'm that kind of petty on accident. So anyway, so I would like to play Mondays, but like I want to make it clear to the guys that we play with, like we're not quitting because you beat us. We knew you were going to beat us all the while. We just would
It's
like to
just-
concentrate on steel
Yeah.
because it's not expensive.
I don't know. My only thing is that I just don't like, I like playing darts, but I feel like it's taking over my life and I don't know that I want to do it more than once a week.
I get that.
I mean, I just
like it.
yeah, I know you do. And you're very competitive and like you get into it. I'm just not a competitive person. And so for me, it's like, I don't know. The competitiveness for me gets to be almost like school. And I almost feel like I'm going to school.
I can see that.
So like once a week I'm cool, but like doing it multiple times a week
Yeah.
and especially once we hit like, and I think right now it's just overwhelming because we're in all-star season, so like we're also practicing for all-stars and stuff,
Right.
So it's like it's just like doubling, and it's like, okay, I just feel like I'm going to school 3 times a week.
Yeah. So I get it. I would be playing at home if I wasn't playing out. So it kind of doesn't matter because it's the only thing I'm really great at right now. Not good. I'm good. Not great. I'm good.
Well, you're really good at it. You are.
So, so yeah. So, the dart thing,
Yeah.
we have a month.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm
Bitches
like,
missing practice. I mean, you got shit going on tomorrow, but I'm like,
Yeah.
bitches missing practice and they're not playing together is going to be an issue when we get there.
right. Well, and I feel like I've been to the other one, so
Yeah.
I can take one off, especially
Yeah.
because I'm an alternate.
Because I feel like they don't get how much you need to play together.
Yeah.
But-
yeah, you need to
Because
learn.
there's so many new people.
Yeah, there are a lot of new people.
There are a
this
lot
year.
of people that I like looked and they didn't even try out
Yeah.
that have been on the past couple of times.
Yeah.
So I was like very concerned. Funny story. Brandi and I played on Monday and somebody, so you play remote, we play remote, soft tip. We're never in the same room with the people we're playing.
Yeah,
They're playing
that's
at
true.
another bar. But this night, the away team came to play at the bar with the guys that play next to us.
Because there's 2 teams that play out of our bar.
Right. So they came to play against the other bar or the other guy team. Oh, Brandi and I are practicing
All right. The dude on the other, he was obsessed with Mindy.
So
Like, okay, here's the thing. This is, and I'm going to give you my honest reaction because I didn't even tell you this. Like, I felt a little insulted because not that I have a very large ego or anything, but like we were standing there playing and like we were warming up. We weren't playing yet. We were warming up. And like this visiting team comes in and this kid walks up to Mindy. And when I say kid, I mean, he looked like
he's not.
he is like in his 20s, right?
No, he's in his late 30s.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like he hits on high school girls.
He looks very young. So he walks up and he walks over to Mindy, introduces himself, and basically...
No, he didn't introduce himself. He walked up to me and said, I saw that you made the All-Stars team. And I was like,
yeah.
What?
And then just starts talking
I'm sorry,
to her.
I don't know your name, which is literally what I said. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And he told me his name, and I was like,
Okay.
He was wearing an All-Star jersey from last year with his fucking name on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who you are.
But it was hilarious because I didn't hear a lot of the conversation. I'm just throwing my darts, like not paying attention. But like, I'm half paying attention, and he comes over and he's just chatting her up all like about All-Stars and everything, and like trying to give you tips and things.
He was trying to tell me how it worked, and I was like, I've been there 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. And I was like, I was an alternate. Also, Brandi's on the team too. Oh, fuck, Brandi's not paying attention. Brandi was on the team too.
Okay, but here's the thing. I realized I was ignoring you guys because I wanted nothing to do with any of that. But in my brain, I'm like, bitch, I was on the team last year and I'm an alternate this year. And I'm like, why didn't you talk to me? But like, fine, talk to her because I actually don't want to talk to anybody.
Oh my God. So he was chatty. And then I was like, hey.
And he was touchy.
So we haven't gotten to that point yet. He shook my hand. And then my energy, if you have never met me, like if you see my picture, I look very feminine. But if you've ever met me, I have a very masculine energy. I am not a lady in any sense of the way. So Brandi and I asked, can we pull these chairs out on the dance floor? Because the dartboards are a good 40 feet away from the table.
And they're basically on the wall against the backside of the dance floor. So like there's a wooden floor around it and the tables
like
are off of it.
Tile dance floor.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We were like, is this going to be a problem? They were like, no, it's not going to be a problem. I'm like, I don't know why you stupid fucks don't do this anyway.
Right.
So we scoot our chairs up because we're getting comfortable in our game right now. We don't care, but also we want to make sure they know we don't care.
We're getting our asses kicked and we're like, we're going to chill in the chairs.
So we bring the chairs out. Now I am sprawled. Literally sprawled, one arm thrown over the back, like knees apart, just hanging out in the chair.
Yeah, she's just watching
with a beer in one hand.
Because this was at the point where I was playing a singles game.
Right. So I'm just hanging out there. And old boy goes up, throws trash. And I was like, if it makes you feel any better, you're throwing better than we are. Bitch comes over to me, grabs me by the back of my neck, squeezes me, which made my head shake. And said, oh no, I know that you're good at darts. I know that you're good at darts. And then squeezed my shoulder from my neck to my shoulder upper arm. And like, I don't know what the fuck he said at that point.
It looked like he was giving her a massage on her one shoulder.
So weird. And I was like, okay, cool.
And here's the thing. I know Mindy doesn't like to be touched. So I'm watching this going, oh, fuck.
So part of me was like, I don't want there to be fucking drama when we get to Columbus. But then I found out something later and I was like, fuck that. Drama's going to happen if it happens again. So after that, he came up at some point and asked, are you going up for the whole weekend? There's a thing that happens on Friday and Saturday. And then there's the All-Stars on Sunday. And so he was like, are you going up on Friday and Saturday? And I said, yes, I'm playing triples with this person and this person. My husband is playing triples with Brandi. And I said her fiance's name. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, my husband and I don't know how many times I said husband or my husband's name. Bitch did not catch on at all.
No.
Like, I felt like he was seeking a hookup.
And he still kept coming over. Like, he was hitting on her hardcore. Because, like, I've been out of the game for a while. But, like, I recognize when somebody's like laying it on thick, and let me tell you, this kid was laying it on thick. And then
so funny.
we get to the end of the evening and we're going to leave and everything. He says goodbye to her, and I look at Mindy and I'm like, that kid didn't say one word to me all fucking night. Like, did not say one goddamn word to me all night.
So
I felt a little
I'm trying to
insulted.
think. So he did the squeezy thing. Oh, before the games were over, because something else happened when we started playing remote. We just were like, fuck it, let's play for fun for a couple of games before we head up to our regular bar, Star City. So we're not done with our last game. I have a tattoo on my left arm, which is the lyrics from a song from Warren Zevon called Keep Me in Your Heart. For a while, we played it at my dad's funeral. It means something to me.
Yeah.
It's abbreviated because you can't fit the whole fucking thing on my arm.
You're not putting an
7
entire
foot
song.
tall.
Yeah.
But so he walks up and takes the back of his index finger and runs it up and down my tattoo. Not quickly, slowly down, up, down. This is really cool. What is that? And I looked him dead in the face and went, it's the lyrics to a Warren Zevon song that we played at my dad's funeral. And just maintained eye contact. And he went with his fingertip and ran it down my arm and said, that's really cool. It's awesome. Not deterred by the fact that it was from my dad's funeral.
Like, I felt like he was acting like a 17-year-old boy that just saw a girl that he's like, I want to date you.
It was so weird. So then we were like, we're going to play these remote games because we have time.
Yeah.
We finished at 8:15. We started at 7, finished at 8:15. Normally, people would not be done till 9:30.
Yeah.
We just got our asses whipped really fast.
It was the best team in the league.
We were laughing so hard. So we decided to play a couple of remote games, and he comes up and is talking to me about his grandpa, and his third cousin recognized him as like his grandpa's. He's just going on and on. I was like, I have to throw a dart. I only have 35 seconds to do so. I will talk to you in a minute. So I go and throw my darts, and then I like walk back to the line, and he's like, so anyway, it just picks up. And I was like, I would have fucking left if I were you. So we leave. I have practice on Wednesday, and I said to 2 of our teammates, so I met this guy on Monday that's on the All-Stars team, and our teammate said, oh, and said his name. And I was like, yes. And she goes, he's a creep. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
He's a creep, and he's a child. And she goes, no, he's like 39 or 40.
Oh, dude. No, I thought he was like in his late 20s.
Yeah, me too. He's got kids and a wife, apparently.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm pretty sure he hits on high school girls.
Oh, God.
Because he looks so young. He looks like he's 22.
He does. He
In the
looks
dark,
very
at
young.
least.
Yeah. I mean, we were in a bar.
My husband's like, can you find a pressure point and just take him out? And I'm like, I'm not in that market anymore.
No.
I haven't had somebody hit on me. My husband didn't hit on me. I hit on him. I haven't had somebody hit on me in 15 years.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I've had one person hit on me probably in the past 5 years, and it was weird, and I didn't realize, and like by the time I realized what was happening, I was like so confused, and like I was bartending and they were checking out, and then they started asking me questions. And I'm answering the questions. I'm like, these questions feel like they're coming out of left field. Like, what? I don't like. And at first, I'm like trying to answer the questions and like, yeah, no, no. And I'm like sitting there going, I don't understand what's happening. And then I had to go help somebody, and I'm like, wait. And then I like sat there for a minute, and I looked at the other bartender, and I was like, I think I was getting hit on. And she was like, what? And then I repeated everything that happened, and she was like, oh yeah. And I was like, that was weird. I did like, he was just asking me questions, like personal questions that I was not expecting. And so like they came out of left field, and I was just like trying to answer them because I'm like, yeah, no, that, yeah, no, this, that. And then I'm like, oh, there's somebody that needs an old fashioned. I got to go make an old fashioned. So then I went to go do that. And I'm like, what just happened? I don't understand.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
You get to a certain age where you're like, I don't expect to get hit on. I I expect to get hit on by men 20 years older than me. I am fucking
Right.
catnip to a 70-year-old man.
Yes.
Catnip.
Yes. No.
I know old shit. I know old actors and movies
Right.
and music. So
When an old man calls you sugar, like,
Yeah.
I know,
Sweetheart,
he's
darling.
being, like, that's like, okay, you're
my love,
flirting.
I'm fine with that. We're not going home together.
Right.
That's fine. I wasn't going home together with this child
Right.
either. And I can call him a child because,
I
I can't call him a child because he's the same age as my husband.
I just felt a little guilty after the whole thing because I was like, was I jealous? I feel like I was a little jealous there, but also like I didn't want him to hit on me either. But also I was like, he just ignored me the entire time, and I was
It
like,
was
I'm on the
so
All Star team too,
weird.
fucker. Like I don't like well, I'm chopped meat over here. I don't know what's happening.
Oh my God. It was so weird.
But I was also kind of happy that all the attention was on you. Although every time he went to touch you, for some reason, I got it into my brain. I really wanted to smack him because I know you don't like to be touched. So I'm like, he's touching her again. I want to hit him.
You know what? Even the neck massage, shoulder massage wasn't weird. It was the finger on my arm thing.
I didn't see that part.
Like he just stroked the fuck out of my arm, and I'm like, ew. Which is why I would like. It's why I emphasize it's from my dad's funeral.
Yeah, no, this is not a
No.
sexy tattoo.
Didn't
This is
turn him
a
off.
like,
Didn't
yeah.
turn him off at all.
No.
I have like 9. I have 13 other tattoos. It was so weird. I don't like it. What have you been doing since I was in Mexico?
Oh God. So I got. Let's see here. Working a lot. Lots of working. I don't remember. The only thing I can remember is the thing I did in the past 24 hours, which was actually kind of interesting. So
let's lead in with our friend Kat. We
Yes.
have mentioned I posted on Twitter and Instagram and maybe Facebook. I don't know. Kat went into Ohio
treatment.
State, the James, for
Yep.
treatment. She's part of a trial study. So they removed cells from her tumors, which are melanoma tumors, even though they're not at her melanoma site. And so it's metastatic melanoma, which means that melanoma cancer shows up in other parts of your body. It's
Yeah.
still melanoma.
So they actually removed a full tumor.
Okay. So they remove the tissue and then they build T cells out of the tissue. And your T cells are part of your immune system, which is why you've heard of T cells with HIV. When your T cells drop to a certain level, then you have AIDS, which means
Yeah.
you can recover from AIDS at some point, and then get AIDS again. Anyway, so they removed it. They've developed T cells, but they have to wipe out her immune system completely before they can give her those T cells. And those T cells, in theory, should fight her tumors.
Yes, they're called lymphocytes.
Right. So they are supposed to. This should extend her life because, bless her heart, and I don't mean that in like a very Southern way to be a bitch. Bless her heart, there is, they've literally said there's nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
This is like a Hail Mary, get you a couple of years, maybe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we'll take every day that we can get with Kat.
Absolutely.
So she went in on Wednesday, and she will be there until the 21st.
So roughly, so she goes in. So
Depending
she went
on how she
in-
does.
Yeah. So she went on Wednesday, and she does on Thursday. She started 5 days of intense chemo treatment. So
Keeping in mind, chemo, I think normally is like a once a week thing or like
Yeah.
3 times a week.
and she's getting
gonna
it every day for 5
yeah.
days. Yeah. So they're basically wiping out her immune system. So today's day 3 of her chemo treatment. And then she gets 2 days of a break, and then she goes in and they're going to inject the lymphocytes into her that they developed from her tumor to help fight the cancer. The thing is, we found out, so the test that the treatment she went into, it's a trial treatment that they developed. She was one of 5 people in the country that got into it. And she is only the either second or third person to get the lymphocytes injected into her. So they don't know values.
This is the whole theory.
Yeah, they don't know like how much to inject and how long and all that kind of stuff. So it's very experimental. So after her 5 days of chemo, she has 2 days rest, and then they start injecting her, and so they're doing that. So her and her husband obviously are at the cancer center doing all of that. And meanwhile, they have 3 children who are still, living life and doing
They
their
have to
things.
do some shit.
Yeah. And 2 of them, their 2 oldest, are in band.
Okay, it didn't start out well. We'll just say this. First day, gone from the house. Facebook message goes out. Our tiny little ass dog escaped.
So their dogs, they have 2 little dogs. One's
this was
mostly
the tiny,
terrier.
Terrier.
Yeah. And one is mostly a dachshund. And to let them out, I've been over there.
A toy terrier,
Yeah.
5 to 7 pounds.
You open up the door, they go out, they do their jobs, and that's what they call it, do your jobs. And they go pee and go potty, and then they come back in. Well, the one terrier, apparently that morning they let him out, and he just decided to take off down the street. And then some guy saw him in the middle of the street, pulls his car over, opens his door to talk to him, and he just jumps in the car with the guy. So I'm at work, and I don't know, I took a break probably 2 or 3 hours in, and I open up Facebook and I see, oh, Hamish just fucking bolted that morning, the first day of her chemo treatment.
Yeah.
Bolted that morning, is lost. Her youngest is beside himself, crying, very upset because the dog's lost.
Kinda.
Thankfully. The
Probably
person
crying because his mom's gone for 3 weeks.
Well, that also. But so this guy that picked him up then took him over to a friend's house because he was on his way to a doctor's appointment. And the friend actually was a friend of Kat's. And so through Facebook and her husband put out the Ring camera of him running away.
Yeah.
And within 5 to 10 minutes of him putting out the Ring camera footage or whatever else, they found him and had a whole system of getting him home. And so the dog came home.
Within 10 minutes of the post going out, I woke up. I think I woke up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. I'm tending to my dogs, which I have one more than I normally would. I'm tending to my dogs, and I see this. And so I tell my husband, I have to cut up some hot dogs and leave. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I have to cut up some hot dogs and leave. So I take my dogs outside and I go running out. I was before I back out of the driveway, there's an update.
Yeah.
Hamish has been found.
Yeah.
And so then I just have hot dogs for my dogs.
I mean, it was a whole episode. I'm really on the first day. But so while they're gone, they have a myriad of people who are helping out with the kids and things they need to go to and whatever. So the oldest, the band that they play in is a competition band. And this weekend.
So did baby girl go or just?
No, just
Oh,
the oldest.
she's 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So baby girl's in the band, but so Bands of America is this huge band competition, which, all right, I was a cheerleader in high school and the band didn't really like us very much, which I had some friends that were in band. So I was friends with some of them, but it was just a very, I don't know anything about band other than they go out and march and, I'm musically uninclined. I like listening to music, but I couldn't tell you if something's good or bad or whatever. I can tell you if I like it. So basically this weekend is this huge nationwide band competition, and it's the last big thing of their band season. And so they went and performed Thursday night, and her oldest is a drum major and she's a sophomore, and she's the youngest drum major in I don't know how many years or whatever. And so it's a big privilege for her, but she had to come back and go to school on Friday because otherwise they couldn't go to the awards ceremony Friday night. So they needed somebody to take her to the awards ceremony Friday night. So I was talking to them, and probably a week beforehand we were chatting, and I just happened to be with Emmy and Kat at the same time. And I was like, well, I don't have anything to do Friday night. I could take you. And Emmy was like, yes, you take me. And so then they made it happen. So I got to pick up her from school and take her up to the band thing. And we went to the award ceremony. And so I got to spend the night in a hotel in Indianapolis last night. And
Woo! Indianapolis adjacent.
yes. But we went to the award ceremony and they ended up making the semifinals, which was really cool because apparently they've only ever in the history of the band or something made it like 3 times. So now she's officially the youngest drum major to ever make it to semifinals.
Nice.
Yeah. So then
these are cute kids.
Oh,
they're adorable. They're so sweet.
So then they performed today. So we spent the night last night, and then when they performed today, and so the whole band had to come back up and perform again. And the youngest, not the youngest, but the middle child, Kat's middle child, she's also in the band, and she's in 8th grade. So she came up with the band today. So I stayed until the band came up and everybody was there, and then I had to drive back home because me and Mindy had an event to go to. So, but I got to be there for the whole thing. It was very cool, and I will say I have a whole new perspective on bands because my God, some of the things that these kids perform. And last night, like before the award ceremony, like the University of Alabama band came just to perform, just to show off.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating. All the high school boys were very fascinated by the Alabama cheerleaders.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt that.
Red sparkly outfits. Let me tell you, I was a little jealous because I was a cheerleader in high school and I was like, oh, I want to wear one of those dresses. Like they were very nice red sparkles.
And if you get a chance, so in Ohio, it's called Soaring Sounds. In our area of Ohio, it's called Soaring Sounds. If you get a chance to see, they're not high school bands, but they're professional marching bands, which is what Valhalla is. They're adults.
Okay.
So it's fascinating. It's fucking fascinating.
I will say
it's intense.
I didn't realize how big it was, but like there was 10,000 people in the stadium watching it. We were in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
I know our dart mate is one of the coaches.
Yeah, I think he's one of the
he coaches the percussion.
But so he was there. I ran into him.
Yeah.
Got to see him Friday night, which was nice. But yeah, so it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. So I got to go up and spend the night in Indianapolis and hang out with the kids and,
feel old as fuck.
I will say I have never felt more like an adult as I did when I had dinner with 2-3 high school aged boys.
Yeah.
Who were playing with knives and things at the table.
Fucking assholes.
And going like around because their parents. Here's the thing. I'm not a parent, so I don't have a kid around me all the time. So I don't have to deal with their shenanigans all the time. So I'm very acutely aware of when they're being like
stupid shit's
happening. Whereas their parents, I feel like kind of zone that shit out a lot.
Yeah.
Because like when they're sitting there doing stupid shit, I can't hide that shit on my face, and I purposely don't because I'm like, I'm sorry. As a parent, is this okay? I'm looking at the other parents going, is this okay? Is this a normal is this a normal thing that happens? I don't know. Like somebody's playing with a steak knife at dinner and he's just like flinging it around in his fingers and stuff. And I'm like, this is an 8th grader who's flinging a steak. Like, is anybody concerned about the fact he might chop a finger off? I don't know. Nobody seemed concerned until after 15 minutes of me making weird faces at the table going, oh my God. And then finally they're like, put the knife down. And I'm like, shouldn't that have happened like 10 minutes ago? I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. You don't want to hurt his feelings.
Right? I don't know.
So it's not even what you were describing. It's not even gentle parenting, parenting, not parroting. I follow a couple of people who advocate gentle parenting, and the people who make fun of it, I'm like, clearly you haven't gotten what they're doing. It's not no discipline. It's offering the kid choices.
Right.
You do this, or I choose it for you.
Right.
Or there is this consequence for it. So it's a very rational thing, which after having seen my nieces and my nephew raised, I'm like, fucking consistency makes a big deal in a kid's life.
Knowing
what's going to happen if you do something happens. you're describing no fucking discipline whatsoever.
I grew up in a very discipline heavy household.
Yeah.
So it is very like hard for me to sit at a table with children who are just doing things and I'm like, oh, that would not stand.
My
That
parents
would not
were not
stand.
my parents were not children should be seen and not heard kind of people, but they were literally like, fucking stop. My parents would never use the F word with me. They were like, I swear to God, I will take you out of here and bust your ass and then bring you back in.
I will say, I don't know what kind of parents Kat and Andy are, but I assume they're not
They haven't raised knife wielding
they're-
psychos.
Yeah, they haven't. And that's the thing, because
One of them has a few school pictures to the contrary, but he's a very nice
as
kid.
discipline heavy as my childhood was, I feel like they are not those parents. But at the same time, I sat there at dinner with these children and I was like, thank God I am in charge of the single child at this table who is not an asshole. Like, I'm in charge of the child who looked at me and said, can I order a milkshake? And I said, yes, honey, you order whatever the fuck you want to
No
eat.
shit.
Like, you get whatever you want. I don't care. Like, you get a
Brandy is
milkshake.
paying for everything. Just don't pick up a fucking
That's
knife.
right. You just get whatever you want because you are behaving very well. You have good manners. You're saying please and thank you. You're asking questions. You're just, yes, you order whatever you want. If you want a martini, you get that. I'm good.
That would be great. Indiana is not like Ohio.
No, you can't do that.
In Ohio, in case you guys didn't know it, to this day, your guardian can order an alcoholic beverage and give it to you.
They can, but it's still up to the bar or the,
It is.
the
It is.
establishment
So you don't
whether or
have
not
to
they
allow
want to do that.
But Ohio state law says that your children can go anywhere that you go
Yep.
unless the bar is like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could challenge it or whatever.
But literally, I never wanted to drink so bad in my entire life. And I couldn't order one because I waited
You
until...
didn't want to be judged.
Yeah, I waited until all the other adults at the table ordered things, and I was like, "I'll take a soda water."
I'm telling. So what I told Brandi is like, you should have brought the guy over and been like, So my husband was like, you should have ordered virgin pina colada, but then been like, add rum.
Yeah,
I totally would not have in the moment because nobody thinks about this shit in the moment. But it would have been funny if you would have been like, come here, get near my face. I would like a pina colada, but when you bring it to the table, I need you to announce it as a virgin pina colada. Just
right.
here's a virgin pina colada for the lady.
Put the alcohol in it, but announce it as a virgin. Because all the other adults at the table, besides one ordered a glass of water.
Because you know those bitches are like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not getting alcohol if like Katie doesn't get alcohol.
Oh yeah, the other ones ordered smoothies and all kinds of fancy funkin' drinks that were like. Oh yeah, I would like the what are they called? Mocktails. The mocktails. They all
Fuck
ordered
that.
mocktails, and I was like, I'm not ordering a mocktail. I can't because right now all I want is a stiff drink, and I cannot. So I'm gonna just order soda water.
Oh, Applebee's has a bar. You could have just walked up to the bar and got whatever you want.
Yeah, but I would have left the table, which was very hard
I have
to do.
to pee. I'm gonna go get a shot.
Oh no, we were in full view of the bar and
Oh,
everything.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
no,
God
it was a
damn
whole
it.
thing. Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah.
So
So yeah, so that's what I did this weekend, which was very enlightening, and I kind of have a fondness for band now, which
it's fascinating.
it's fascinating. It
It's
really
fascinating.
is. Yeah.
I did get pictures from our teammate. He was like, "This is what it looks like in the stadium," and I was like, "There are not a lot of people there, but when you have a like 65,000 seat stadium and 10,000 people are there,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Lucas Oil for Gen Con,
Yeah.
and it's the fucking floor is covered. So imagine that entire floor
Yeah,
covered in
with people.
nothing but like 6 by what are the tables? The like white folding tables?
Oh, 6x3.
Yeah. Imagine that entire field covered by 6x3 tables end to end.
Yeah.
This way. Not this way. Anyway, so widthwise.
Yeah.
And then like you just go and like play games at it with other people. So the entire floor of it is covered, but nobody's in the fucking stands.
Right.
And you guys have people in the stands. So he sent photos over and then they made semifinals. And I was like, congratulations. And he's like, we made semifinals. I was like, that's what I fucking meant. So it was neat. I mean,
it was a neat experience.
I was in band. We only made it to one competition.
Yeah.
We fucking sucked.
And
Actually, Flag Corps.
ooh.
the flag corps that I was a part of, we actually got a recognition, but our band got like honorable mention.
I will say I was super intrigued by the flag corps because like I feel like you can immediately tell whether the flag corps has their shit together or not.
Yeah.
And some of them were just like jaw-dropping amazing. Like
if you are a quarter of a beat off, you can see it.
There was this one band that came out, and I mean, they were huge, like huge. Their flag corps was as big as one of the other bands.
Bellbrick was there. Centerville was there.
Oh, yeah. No, Centerville made the semifinals, but they're the only other ones that I recognized. But like, there's this team out of Texas that we watched, and I swear to God, their flag corps was as big as the Miamisburg band. And like, at the end there, all of the girls ended up on the one side of the field and they were all like flipping their flags in the air. And I swear to God, it looked like synchronized swimming. Like they were on point. Every single flag was in the air at the same time, flipping at the same radius. Like it was just like, I was sitting there going, oh my God. Yeah. Like it was amazing. It was fantastic.
I love the flag. So we had a girl, so I did my freshman year and my senior year.
Yeah.
I had issues my sophomore and junior year, so I was just like, I don't want to fucking do this. Actually, my freshman year, my mom came and took me off I didn't even get to perform for halftime. It was so cold. They had us in like canvas Mary Janes.
Oh God.
And it was snowing in Ohio because that's what used to happen in October and November. And I was freezing. Yeah. Like I don't have rain-ons, but like I'm cold when I'm cold. And I couldn't feel my feet. And my mom was like, fuck this, we're leaving. And the band director was like, she'll never march again. And my mom was like, fuck off, I don't care. Which is why nobody in my high school liked to hear from my mother. So then I did my senior year and it was interesting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But a girl that I went to high school with that was in my class was 4'11". A flag is typically 5 foot. A flag pole, and then your flag is like 2 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah,
3 foot to 4 foot. When you're 4'11", you will spin that shit into the ground.
Yeah.
So they had to cut her pole off.
Oh God.
By whatever what our difference would be, they had to like cut her pole off. But the flag doesn't get smaller because the flag has to appear to be the same size.
Right.
Bless her heart. Like we were all good at what we did, but she had to fucking do what we did with a pole that was 6.5 inches shorter.
Yeah. And that's like oh God, you're dealing with all kinds of physics and stuff there. That's just not working.
We had a mom that made us, they don't have a pole. They're handheld flags.
Yeah.
So it's just enough for you to grip onto. And then they have these huge bits of material. And so they look like butterfly flags. You get 2 of them and they do the thing. So that was the year that we actually got an honorable mention for fucking whatever. And I was like, whatever, flag corps did that shit. We had 8 people in flag corps. We had 35 people in the band because I went to a school of 400 people.
Yeah.
And then we would go to football games with Bellbrook.
Yeah, who has just a massive...
They've got like 200 people in the band alone. Yeah. And I was like, we had no like rifle people. Yeah. We had like 2 baton flipper things.
Yeah.
Oh no. And 2 drum majors. So congrats to Emmy for doing that because that's like some serious bullshit.
It was fantastic. And I'll be honest. So like clearly Kat and
I have to ask, did the senior guys that were there, did they come out and do some kind of fucking senior salute, or is that not part of what you do?
Not part of what you do. The drum majors all have a salute that they do together, which they did, which was fantastic. I finally got to see it today at the semifinals awards. But I will say the whole thing, for me personally, it meant a lot more to me than I think normally it would have, because
you were surrogating?
Yeah, kind of.
You were a surrogate parent.
Yeah, because like, Kat and like her husband, Andy, she said his name.
Right.
Andy, he texted me and he was like, I can't thank you enough. We super appreciate this. Da, da, da. And I was like, you know what? Here's the thing. I know that you guys are super thankful for this, but I need to thank you because allowing me to do this, one, gave me the opportunity to hang out with Emmy, which I adore her. She's a fantastic human being, and just getting to spend the time with her and her being comfortable enough with me to like allow me to take her to this was fantastic. But it also, like, in a situation where like your friend is going through something that you can't control, there's nothing that I can do for Kat right now. There's
Right.
absolutely nothing I can do for her.
But this thing.
But I can help in a meaningful way for things that they need. And like, this gave me an opportunity to do something that I knew meant a lot, and I could do, and I could participate, and I could do something that was helpful, that made me feel purposeful.
Right.
And like, that's the thing. And I feel like when you have friends and things like that are going through this stuff, like, everybody wants to help. And I think everybody wants to help because and you can do all of these things.
But they don't know what to do. So
right, they don't know what to do.
When you have a friend who is going through shit like this,
yeah.
What I have discovered through life and like through talking to Kat is, don't say anything I can do to help.
Right.
Say what you can do to help.
Right.
I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. What do you want me to do?
Right.
Don't fucking say, call me if you need anything, because nobody's going to goddamn call you.
And they're not going to call. And that's the thing. And I understand that. And like, that's a shame though, because like, there's so many people that are willing to help and so many people that would do it. But like, the fact that I was in the right place at the right time to say, hey, I can do that. Like, I can do that. And Emmy was there when I said that. And she said, yes, absolutely. Can you do that? And I said, absolutely. Let's do this. Like, and they got me the right permissions and everything else.
Because you're like their auntie.
Yeah,
so,
but
yeah.
it gave me a purpose, you know?
Right.
It gave me something I could do that made me feel like I was helping, and I was doing something that was meaningful, that actually contributed and helped along the way, which I think is helpful for people that are on the peripheral, that are going through this, that, you know, you're watching your friend go through something that you can't help with, and it's like, I can't do anything about what you're going through right now. So if there's something I can do that can help in any way whatsoever, I want to do that. And so it gave me a purpose and something that I could do to help along the way.
Before we talk about where we were tonight.
Yes.
I've mentioned that we have 4 dogs at my house now.
Yes, you do.
I have 3 dogs. We have an extra dog.
Yes.
Damn. We went someplace. We got a commemorative glass. My finger's cut now. Those are very thin wine glasses.
Yes, they are.
I didn't think that would happen. So a few months ago, prior to September 8th, because that's when I picked up this fucking dog, sometime around September 5th. Let's go back. A couple of months before September 5th, my in-laws lost their dog. He was 15 years old.
Yes.
He was a fucking basket case.
Uh-huh.
And he passed away.
Yes.
Which was unfortunate. Oh, I mean, they had to let him go because of his health issues.
Yes.
So that was sad. And we talked to them, and they were like, we're not going to get a dog for months, if not a year or more. So they spend time in this retirement community that we talked about.
Yeah.
And then an RV community north of there, and then traveling to see us or their daughter.
Okay.
So they have a life.
Yeah.
They have a life outside of the dog, which is more than I can say for myself and my husband. So I posted, as I frequently do, I shared our director posts shit on her personal page, and I share it because it's public.
Right.
And there were 5 doodles
Mm-hmm.
that she said, who wants one? And so I shared it. I shared it because it was like, who wants to be a foster? Who wants to foster to adopt?
Right.
And I shared it because I share every fucking dog there is. 2 months prior to this, not even 2 months, 2 weeks prior to this,
Yeah.
2 months after their dog had passed away, 2 weeks prior to this, they had said they were taking a break. They weren't going to get a dog. They were just going to enjoy their time together.
Yeah.
It was going to be fantastic. 2 weeks later, I post these doodles and said, I didn't say anything. I just shared. And my mother-in-law responds with, oh, I would like one. As we have covered, my in-laws are in Arizona. Our rescue does not do interstate adoptions because you can't do home inspections.
Right.
And they're a responsible rescue. If your rescue doesn't want to do a home inspection, They're probably not that great. So they were like, we can't do a home inspection. They normally don't do out-of-state adoptions. However, my in-laws have an impeccable record and impeccable references.
Right.
They got a dog. He was 8 weeks old. He was neutered. He was a dick then. He was a dick when he died. They had to take him to the Ohio State University veterinary school
Right.
to be evaluated by a behavioralist.
Yeah.
Like a specialized fucking PhD in behavioral issues. So they helped him with that. He also had a trainer. He had specialized daycares. He went to Arizona. He had specialized daycares. He had trainers. Like he was never not with a trainer and them.
Right.
We went to visit them in 2016, a year after we started dating. I don't recommend driving cross country with your boyfriend a year after you start dating, but
Yeah.
we did. We showed up at their house and this motherfucker is like tethered to the island in the kitchen because he is like blah, 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 just crazed.
Yeah.
Crazed. And then he eventually calmed down. He is a 40 milligram of Prozac a day dog.
Right.
And they're not like they're not medicating him just to like because he's inconvenient. They're medicating him because he is psychologically impaired.
Right.
And that happens to dogs. There's some shit that you cannot train out of a dog.
Right.
And his entire litter apparently got returned because they're psychologically damaged. Which is just in case you need to know, dogs imprint before 12 weeks. There's nothing these dogs went through. They were born in the shelter. They were born in a very loving environment. Sixa here in Dayton is fantastic.
Yeah.
There is nothing they experienced as far as violence or neglect that caused them to be this way. They just were born psychotically. So they have this great standing. And so I had no doubt that they would pass the background check, that they would pass the whatever was going to happen. My concern was, are you fucking serious? I would like one. I was like, haha, you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
Haha, I'm not kidding. Cool. Do you want a male or a female? Doesn't matter. So they showed
Just
a picture.
want a dog.
Right. They showed a picture of 5. So these are purported to be Aussie doodles. I didn't ask a damn question. I just showed up in a driveway of our director while 7 Aussie doodles, not 5, 7 Aussie doodles were delivered. And we were grabbing them one at a time. I wanted this little female, but it turns out to be fine. Because the males were much more balanced. They were not abused. They were not neglected. They did grow up in a barn. So we got them at 16 weeks and they don't really know the difference between inside and outside, which makes potty training fucking phenomenal.
Ooh.
That's the only thing he is not excelling at is not
Potty
pissing
training.
or shitting inside my house. So I got him on September 8th. He was 16 weeks old. He was 22 pounds, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
Get him vaccinated, get him home, get him bathed. He has like fucking shit and straw in his paw pads. So he is an Aussie doodle. They do know the mom and the dad. He's not from an Amish puppy mill. He's not from a puppy mill at all. He's just from we're in Kentucky and we have a mom and a dad and we're breeding doodles because that's what happens. Doodles are mutts that people pay $2,500 for.
Insane.
They're a mutt. I don't care if you have an AKC blah blah and an AKC poodle, standard, toy, miniature. I don't care what it is. They're mutts. Don't pay $2,500 for these dogs because chances are they are psychologically damaged. Not that they become damaged from their treatment. They are just born a little off. We're lucky. I've talked to the entire group that took these dogs and these dogs aren't crazy.
Yeah.
But they were covered in shit and they had straw in their paw pads and we had to get him groomed and all this other shit because he was sliding all over our house. He has
Aw.
very long fur under his paw pads. So he was
Aw.
just like Bambi on ice. So I go and pick this boy up, bring him home, decompress him, get him involved into my pack, which I have 3 adult dogs and they're having the best time of their lives. They have never played with each other like they have played with this goddamn puppy. 22 pounds when I picked him up.
Yep.
September 8th, we are now at 6 months old.
Yep.
He weighs 40 pounds.
No, gosh.
He will probably weigh 60 pounds when it's done. Because here's the question I didn't ask. We all know what an Australian Shepherd looks like. We all know how big they are. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. Thankfully, he doesn't herd. What I didn't ask is, what was the poodle? And so then when he started hitting 35 pounds at 5 months old,
Yeah.
what the fuck is his mom?
Yeah.
And they were like, she's a standard poodle. Those are
Oh.
60-pound dogs.
Yeah.
They're tall.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fucking great. So I tell my in-laws, this is a standard poodle Aussie mix. And they were like, we still love him. We want him. And I'm like, you do know he's going to be you wanted a 30-pound dog. He's going to be a 60 to 80-pound dog. I can tell you right now, what they normally say is that they'll be twice their size as they are 6 months old.
Yeah.
He's on track to be an 80-pound dog.
Yeah.
Adorable as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Cute. He looks like a
Super cute.
Muppet. A Muppet. I will post a picture of him. He's adorable as shit. He's an asshole. I cannot not shit in my house. But otherwise, I love him. He's great in public. He doesn't want people to touch him. We're working on that for the next 2 weeks. I'm driving him to St. Louis in 2 weeks for Thanksgiving, and we're going to turn him over. So I have 4 dogs at my house, and I am not a 4-dog person.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get him to ring bells to go outside, but we have switched to a button because of this dog. If you are on Instagram, follow an account called What About Bunny. You can teach dogs to communicate through buttons, and Bunny has an extensive
Yeah.
vocabulary.
But she started with only a few.
Right. My assholes are starting with outside,
Yeah.
outside, paw, outside. And so I'm like, paw, outside, put my hand down. Everybody can ring it. My hound dog will only ring it when I'm not standing there. When she goes up and rings the bell, I'm like, touch outside. And she looks at me like, I don't fucking know what you want. So I walk away, and then you hear outside. Fuck you. So I hook her up to her lead, and I send her out. My most terrified dog, scared of everything, will now go over, and I'm like, do you want to go outside? And she like tentatively, I'm tapping my paw. She's like, tap, 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 outside. She eventually gets to the button. Floppy Muppet dog, I say paw. I know he has to pee because he's been sniffing around. I say paw. He smacks the button. He has no idea what's happening. It doesn't matter how often I reward him. Motherfucker doesn't know that this means outside, even though the button says outside. When we go, we treat him when he pees. We treat him when he poops. He still shits in my living room. And he still has to wear a belly band. My in-laws are willing to deal with that. They dealt with a 40 milligram Prozac dog pissing inside the house. Not a big deal in Arizona. It's all tile.
Yeah.
My oldest dog, Stormageddon, do you want to go outside? And she literally looks you in the face and on the button. She's pissed about this entire situation. But she's the only one who, like, on command will hit the button. So everybody is learning outside. Everybody loves this dog. He went to daycare boarding while we were in Mexico. Fantastic. He had a great time. He and Stormy bonded. They play together constantly. I wish I could show video, but Stormageddon stops doing anything at all.
As soon as you turn on the camera.
Yeah. Like, she'll look you dead in the eye and be like, I wasn't doing anything. So we have to sneakily take videos of her. I might post one, but it's fantastic. So we are driving this dick to St. Louis.
Nice.
For Thanksgiving weekend. So we're going to have Thanksgiving. My mother-in-law said on Thanksgiving, would you guys like to go out to dinner and I'll just stay with Cooper? Or do you want us to order something in? And I was like, your mom does not want us to be at the hotel with her. She wants to just be with this damn dog. She's in love with him.
Yeah.
She's in love. In love with the boy. Cue Faith
Aww.
Evans. Or no, not what
Has she even met him yet?
No.
That's hilarious.
Oh, here's the funny thing. When we decided we were going to Mexico and I got this dog on September 8th, we had been decided forever. My sister-in-law texts me and said, do you know what the first words out of my mother's mouth are going to be? Where's my dog? So we show up at Mexico. We knock on the door. Towels. My father-in-law opens it. We make our way down the hallway. We see my mother-in-law. She bursts into tears. She hugs all of us. It takes 5.5 minutes for her to go, where's my dog? I wasn't flying your dog here.
No.
So they're going to pick him up. My father-in-law hopefully will be in a boot. He had ankle surgery. When we got back to Arizona, they moved his ankle surgery up, which was great. But
Yeah.
So I love this shithead,
Yeah.
but
he's also a shithead.
super happy for him to leave.
Yeah.
So tonight was a good break. Brandi and I, actually, my husband found this event for Brandi and I.
Yes.
And there is, I've posted photos before. There is a grocery store. That's not what you can call it. It's an international market. Yeah. Called Jungle Gyms. It only exists in Ohio, and I think they just opened something up in Edgefield, Kentucky, or something like that.
Yeah.
So up until 6 months ago, it only existed in Ohio. It has international foods, not like you find in your international aisle at Kroger's or Albertsons or Fred Meyer or wherever the fuck you are.
In depth.
Like they import shit.
Yeah.
So
you can find beer there and wine and stuff that you won't
Right.
find anywhere else.
as an example, I took my niece there and her boyfriend said, can you find me some kind of teriyaki ramen? And I looked at her and said, no, because teriyaki is to America as Taco Bell is to America. Like it's not a fucking Japanese thing. It's an American thing. So we had a great time. You could spend hours in the grocery store. However, my husband found a wine festival for us.
Yes.
And, how many tables?
Oh my God. So many tables.
Amuse bouche. We didn't go with the connoisseur route because we're not fancy.
I'm up to 65.
65. There were 65 wine tables, American and international. We started on the international side. We're not going to review all the wines because it took a long fucking time to just taste them.
Yeah.
However, I feel like we drank a large part of international. We just skipped South America.
Yeah. We got one South American wine, I think.
That's true. Oh, South African.
No, we went to South African, but then the line was too long, so we went over to South American.
That's true. So that means 33 to 65. So 32 not American wines, and I feel like we sampled like 30 of them.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a good time at one of the Italian tables because honestly, it was packed and moving around was a challenge at some points. And we ended up in a back corner with the Italian wine guy. And it was like, well, I was like, well, he's got like 4 wines I want to try. So let's just stand here for a while.
Right. So they were all good. I am not a wine person. I will drink whatever you have.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. But I found shit that I liked.
Yeah. I feel like they had some decent wines out there. I feel like they had a very nice mix between like, there was a lot of wines that were very accessible to people.
Right.
That were like a 20 price point per bottle kind of a range that you could try, which was good.
Try anything that was price pointed above $40.
Yeah. And
even though they were like, this is my most expensive wine we have here. I'm like, that's not the most expensive wine you distribute.
You sell, yeah. So a lot of them had reasonably priced wines, and they were all really good wines. So I think overall the whole thing was very good. It was just very, it was packed, and like to get the food, like the hors d'oeuvres were all on one side of the thing. I almost wish they had like mixed them up and like put them around different places, because what ended up happening is
stop traffic.
Yeah. Since they were in a line, instead of being able to walk up to one booth to get food, people started forming a line that was just walking down the entire row of booths. So in order to get any food, you had to go into this huge ass line. Whereas like, well, I don't want anything from that table, or that table. I just want something from this table.
Or you and my husband got the olives.
Yeah.
And that's where the food started. So we didn't purchase the connoisseur ticket, which
No.
apparently the connoisseur ticket, there were chefs just making shit on demand.
Yeah, they had food back in their own
Maybe
little
next
room.
year.
Yeah.
That's also where the little bamboo fucking trays came from.
Yeah.
I told my husband, I was like, if we do this next year, I don't need to be a connoisseur. I'm bringing my own goddamn little tray with little glass hanger, and I
Yep.
won't put it in my purse the next time.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed all of it. Actually, I enjoyed more of the international as I did the American. By the time oh my God.
Yeah.
The
At like
fucking
10 after
monorail.
9.
Now that
Oh.
we've walked back to the car,
Yeah. No,
we
I
could
would've
we
just
could have
walked.
had an extra half an hour in the
Yeah.
United States area. So we did the international part first. Fantastic little trio playing.
Yeah.
I told Brandi at one point they were playing Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, and you could figure out where all the white people were by the
Yeah.
bum bum bum.
Yeah.
It was frankly embarrassing. And then I think you went to the bathroom, and I'm watching. They did like the DJ in between the trio did this entire extensive line dance section. So wobble when you the entire thing. I walked up there and they were trying to figure out, I forget what, cha-cha slide or something. They were trying to figure out how to do something that I'm like, bitch, you should know this.
It's the electric slide. It was the
no,
electric
it was
slide.
before then.
Oh, okay.
Then we went to the bathroom and we came back and there were like 25 girls trying to figure out how to do the electric slide. And I was confused. That's the first thing you learn how to do at a wedding other than the chicken dance.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they were trying
I will not have the chicken dance at my wedding.
Oh, it's so fun though.
Not the chicken dance.
Okay.
I'll have all the slides and things, but not the chicken dance.
Yeah. So it wasn't the Cupid shuffle. Oh, maybe it was the Cupid shuffle that people were very confused at. And I was like, I get it. Some of you are trying to catch on. The electric slide, I was like, God damn.
Everybody should know the electric slide.
But
now.
it was the whitest wobble, Cupid shuffle, cha-cha slide, electric slide that you have ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
Like, it was so sad.
Yeah, it was awful.
But you haven't been to Jungle Gyms in a long time.
I
We should
haven't.
drive down there.
Yeah, we need to go down. I enjoy it. Last time I went down there, it was very cool because like every section of the store, and I mean, you need a full day to go through that whole store.
Oh yeah,
Full day.
that's where I posted pictures. You can buy individuals
Yeah.
of like so many beers. You can also just go up to the bar and get them. You can walk around with wine, cigars. Well, you can't smoke cigars inside because we're Ohio. But there is so much shit in there.
Yeah.
We just bailed on like the American shit and just went straight to Japanese, Chinese. She wasn't interested in cake. Whatever my niece wanted.
Yeah.
We just bailed on that.
I mean, that's
and
fair.
my sadness in life is that I didn't realize how yummy high chews were while we were down there. And since I went to the last con, I have purchased high chews, and they are like Starburst, but
Okay.
fucking great.
Yeah. That's the cool thing is like the different candies and things like that you can find that are
Yeah.
all the different cultures and stuff. So yeah, Jungle Gyms is definitely a really cool place to go check out. And the International Wine Festival, I mean, I think it was good, but yeah, I think like we spent a lot of time in the internet, but you're never gonna. You walk in and they're like, all right, it's limited to 25 tastings, but like they don't count how many tastings you're having. They don't like
There's
regulate.
no card. So when like we've talked about, I think before the Ale Fest, there's 2 of them in Dayton.
Yeah.
I go to the convention center one.
Yeah.
And you get 24 tickets. It's like, I think $40, a 4-ounce taster, 24 tickets.
Yeah.
Bitches are not taking your tickets because they're volunteers. They don't give a shit. So I just, we were throwing tickets at people running through there because we had a good 35, not you and I, but our friend had a good 35 samples for 24 tickets. Like we eventually were like, take the fucking ticket because we've promised each other we will go through all the tickets and you weren't taking the tickets.
Right. Yeah.
So it was sad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. I frankly couldn't have drank more wine than I did.
No, I don't think I could have either. Because by the time we were like at the very beginning, there was a glass of wine that I got that I didn't like, and I dumped, and like they had dump buckets and stuff like that you could do. But like I always feel bad dumping wine because I like a lot of wine.
Right.
So, but I did dump one early at the beginning, and then we were drinking, and then at the end there we got to it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna dump this. I don't want to.
Yeah, there were a couple of tables at the end that they were like 10 minutes from closing that you were like, I would like to try this, and they just dump the rest of the bottle in your glass.
And you're like, okay, I'll take 2 sips of that, and then I'm gonna dump the rest of this.
All right, thanks, I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know anything about wine. We have entire booklets of shit that just says tasty,
Yep,
peachy,
that's true.
warm.
You got
Dry.
booklets, and you could put notes in there, and you could order stuff if you wanted to. I will say they had like 3 aisles of Italian wine, which I loved because I love Italian wine. So that was super awesome.
Dryish, soft.
I'm pretty sure.
Yay,
I wrote
but
one,
sour.
One just says so good. Yeah.
I had a good time. I didn't take notes on most of it because we got to a certain point that I was like, it's really hard to hold a pen and do this. Actually, at one point, I lost my pen, but turns out it was just
In
where
your
I
purse.
put it.
Yeah, it was funny because Mindy at one point asked me, she was like, have you ever thought about going to get your like sommelier license and stuff? And I'm like, I can't smell things. These are the notes I take. I say yummy and good. Like, there's no way I would be able to pass a test.
I feel like I think I might be able to get in that area just because we were talking like
Yeah.
smells offend the fuck out of me.
Oh, yeah. You'd be able to smell something and be able to pick out like, oh, it smells like leather.
I just
and
need
this
to
and
know
that.
what it is because like with that one, I'm like, this smells like peach. And he was like, elder
It's elderflower.
flower. And I'm
which
like,
was delicious.
or peach. I don't know. But if I smelled peach and elderflower, I would probably be able to discover the difference. So I think I would like to do that next year.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was a good time. Next year, I feel like I'll be more prepared for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we didn't know to ask for shit. I don't want to carry around a purse when I can't carry around equipment because we didn't record while we were there.
No.
You wouldn't have been able to hear a goddamn thing we said.
No, yeah. I put all of our shit into a bigger purse and took it with me. So in case we wanted to record while we were walking around, I was like, oh, yeah, this is not happening.
At one point, the trio, because some woman at the end French thing,
Mm-hmm.
the end French wine table apparently requested the trio to play I Believe the Children of the Future. I have a bad relationship with that song because I was in a pageant when I was a freshman or a sophomore, and fucking out of 60 girls, 32 of them did that song as their talent. I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it was that and then the DJ, but the trio was fantastic, but it was like, I don't know. It was very lounge versions of fucking shit you might like.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like the other part of the music selection was just aimed at like fucking rhythmless white people.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So, yeah. But anyway, it's been a long time. Ooh, hey, have a mint.
Woohoo.
It's been a long time. There were mints in the bathroom.
Nice.
Oh, one of the bathrooms was fantastic. We
It
were
was.
upstairs in the event center, and it had like a whole like fainting room, retiring room,
Hey,
whatever
if you're
you wanna
looking for an
call it.
event center, I will say the event center at Jungle Gyms is
It was
phenomenal.
fucking nice.
Yeah.
I think we might like renew our vows there.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Not our 5th year vows because I already have plans for that. Just listen to Stephen Lynch's little tiny mustache. I have plans. So, but anyway, I would like to go again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a nice facility. It's fantastic. I would have liked to have had more food and not have to fight for it.
Right. I agree. Yeah, that would have been
like
nice.
you want to throw. Also, I don't want to follow an old man that wants to have a 32-minute conversation about
every single wine vendor he wanted to talk to.
fucking hell. And we're like, can I? I would
I
like,
just pour wine in my glass. I don't care what it is. Just pour wine in my
stick
glass.
my arm through here and be like, red.
just pour whatever the fuck you want. I don't care at this point.
So anyway, we will talk to you guys. This will come out, and then I think maybe Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know what you're doing.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So we're not going to be straight on top of every 2 weeks. We're not. I'm hoping that we won't take a break through winter like we did last year.
Yeah, I think we'll be
because
good.
I think we've taken a giant break.
We did
recently.
Yeah.
Unplanned, but we all have shit happening.
That's fine.
So we're excited.
Yeah.
We'll post some shit. I might have a job.
Yeah. Mindy's got some
excited.
prospects.
I have a
so
prospect.
That's to look forward to.
They came to me. I didn't come to them, and hopefully, I'll be making like $10,000 more than my husband. So the world is set right again. So anyway, all right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us, and we will throw our socials in.
On Instagram and Twitter, you can find us at DBBL_podcast or Facebook and YouTube at DBBL Podcast or website dblpodcast.com or dbblpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and we will talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
Cheers. Brandy's significant other in his home. Significant other. Significant other.
Whereas yours is sitting in his car watching Netflix somewhere.
Yeah. Not on his phone. Tesla, so he just watched. There's a 15-inch television screen in his car.
Yeah. It's super fun.